Heracles, Battle of the Gods. Just by the name and box art cover alone, I'm kinda petrified of what we're getting into for today. Heracles? Heracles. Really? Developed by Neko Entertainment and published by Midas, whatever, Interactive, Heracles, oh god, came out in the year 2006 for the PlayStation 2, and maybe other consoles as well. The story begins in still image form that surprisingly has a decent old school cartoony style rather than CGI models in a comic panel like Aquaman Battle for Atlantis. Heracles loses his horse, Pegasus, to douche pig known as that guy. Will Heracles save his beloved flying horse? Depends how tolerable this game is. Entering the levels, and it's nothing to be excited about. I'm going to be immediate with my thoughts, and these graphics are very mediocre. While keeping a cartoon-like style, it's nothing to write home about. Generic, uninteresting backgrounds that'd be nice if they had a bit more going on, especially moving around this 2.5D field. The enemies are dull, unimaginative, and look, again, very generic. And while there's more variety and scenery later on, they still don't have pizzazz. Heracles himself, while dumbly dashing, could have done with a bit more work. He isn't much of a box art seller, I'll say. Oh, and the music is cheap and completely forgettable. That being said, you're gonna be surprised because the gameplay is actually kind of fun. Each level is planned out the same, but progresses more in difficulty and adds new abilities and hazards along the way. Heracles has to get to the top of this platforming tower in order to save Pegasus, a bunch of small flying horses. Get to the top to complete the level. The only thing is that obstacles and enemies will get in the way. There's rats, rip-off fire Pokemon, flying centaurs that shoot arrows, and many more that do indeed come across as a threat. And not to forget hazards such as slippery ice, fire, and my personal favourite, the high ground. These troubles aren't too difficult due to Heracles' abilities. He can double jump, punch, which sucks because you can throw projectiles, and he also has this bridge builder that can not only help reaching higher platforms, but also slam enemies out of your path. Combining it all together in a tight yet open space makes for a definitive fun time, although you will feel the repetitive nature very fast. Just the first 4 levels alone make it very sluggish. It feels rather sluggish, but hey, there's boss battles that aren't really compelling to be true. You have an arena, and all there is to it is attacking their obvious weak points. No platforming techniques or anything invigorating or memorable, they're just there to add more variety and time to your clock because you paid a bunch of money for it. While I enjoy the simple gameplay and the addiction of climbing to the top of the tower, I have to admit the controls, while passable, are clunky and a challenge to get used to. It's usually difficult to describe, but I believe this is the major noticeable thing. It doesn't help when there's a tiny delay to pressing a button and it actually responding. When Heracles jumps, he sort of floats and then pivots down at maximum speed. It's not the worst controls, unlike yeah, that, but could have needed some work, then possibly the game could have surpassed my expectations. And that's about it. There's not too much I need to express about Heracles, unless you want to hear me talk about the music. It's okay. Heracles is that judge a book by its cover scenario. No one aside from very young kids and grandparents would even dare to think I'm buying this. But if you were, you're not gonna get the worst game in existence, but rather an average puzzle platformer. And so, I'll give the developers a little bit of credit for making at least something decent, but not very memorable. So, anyway, my name is James, this is my game, and I'll bid you adieu. Bye bye.
man. Come on in. See? Not much has changed.
Cool.
I'll make you a beverage.
No, I'm all good, thanks. I already had one this morning.
It wasn't a request. I was doing a grocery shopping the other day and I saw your mum. Maybe she was telling me all the time to her. Then I asked about you and she said you know, calm down and maybe you should talk to her a little bit. Which is understandable, but you know, it's not like it's the end of the world or something. Stuff just happens and I think it's good or something. James. Hey, James.
Sorry, what?
How are you doing?
Oh, I'm good. I'm fine.
James, I want to know if...
That was a year ago. Alright? That was a year ago.
James, that's not fine. If I knew you were feeling that way, I would have done something.
Done what? Tell me it wasn't my fault?
But it wasn't your fault.
It was. Everybody stopped talking. Do I hear from Danielle? Do I hear from Thomas? No. The only person to contact me has been you. After what, a whole goddamn year?
Thomas and the gang still wanted to talk to you. You just disengaged from the world and went into your video making box. Why didn't you talk to any of us?
Why didn't any of you talk to me? You know, you knew what I was like. Especially when all that shit with Nathaniel happened.
It was hard for us all. He left without our knowledge and we have to move on. It's not just all about you as well. So stop being so low. Because that's what a lot of us have done. We've moved on.
I know that. I moved on as well.
By making videos that many other people make, you don't know it all, James. You're stuck. You haven't moved on. I see your videos and I don't see the original you. Remember when you used to tell me all those original concepts for future movies we all made?
They weren't original at all. Anyone could create what I made just by being weird. Anyone... The world doesn't need another Lynch, Burton, Jodorowsky. I wasn't going to be that anyway.
But you had ideas. They were great ideas. Some weird as fuck abstract movie about flies was more than just your simple opinion on a video game. Who are you doing this for? These videos you're making? Yourself? The small amount of people that watch? Us? Is it for us? Don't bullshit me. You always talk to your audience like it's one of us.
I don't know anymore. At first it was to distract me from all the shit that happened, and the more I make, the less I care about anything except videos. Anything. Don't care. And you know what? They're getting better. And I'm improving my content, and that's fantastic. That's fun.
James, what about yourself?
What about myself? I couldn't care less about myself. As long as other people are happy, I'm happy. So, you know.
James, you need help.
I don't need anything. I just want it all to be simple. In terms of my younger self, things to be different. And you know what? I'll be honest. As confident as I look on camera, still that shy guy. Tries to get words out in public. I'm not changing. I'm not changing. I'm just... I'm trapped.
What do you want out of your videos?